Good morning, this is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 4134 Motor Avenue in Culver City, and I'm preparing to perform a video examination of the main sewer line for Chris Brugler. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I'm going to be performing my examination today from our 4-inch main sewer line cleanout. It's located here at the front of the structure. This is in our front planter area, just below this little bump out bay window here. There's our front porch and front yard is out here. Now as we drop into this cleanout, we're going to turn and run about 45 degrees across the front yard over kind of towards the driveway before we then drop down and run out the public sewer under the street. So here as we drop in, pretty much immediately we're making our 45-degree turn to the left, start running across towards the driveway. And then as soon as we come around that turn, we're getting inside our original vitrified clay sewer pipe. Now these clay pipe materials are a very common pipe for main sewer line systems. This type of pipe does have a long service life expectancy. Being a natural material, it's less likely to deteriorate underground, but it is fairly brittle in nature and does have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity or earthquakes. Now we're seeing some pretty significant root intrusions almost right away here, and I do see some loose roots laying on the ground, so somebody may have tried to clear a blockage recently, but still a lot of roots left in the pipe. Now in this particular area we're seeing a good amount of soil mixed in with these roots. It makes it a little hard to see. Now the root intrusions at the joint areas, like we're seeing here at this spot, is a fairly common condition in these older clay pipes. Normally we are suggesting that these roots can be maintained with regular sewer line cleanings. But when they're left unmaintained for extended periods, they can create blockages in a system or they can potentially damage the joint. Now also, another thing we're coming up here is you can see the amount of water that's pooling up in this pipe. Essentially this about a 10-foot section here, 10 or 12-foot section that has settled, minor cracking at the joints. So the whole area has settled down and it's holding as much as maybe 1.5 inches of water or so. See the camera kind of goes underwater here for a bit before it comes back up. Makes it difficult to see if there's any breaks through that section. But you see, again, more cracks here as you come up out of the water around this joint. So there's about a 10 to 12 foot length of pipe there that's settled down pretty significantly. And that's enough to start suggesting repair on. Now, as we punch the camera through here, we did clear up at least knocked loose some of these areas of pretty significant roots, so we could get as good a visibility as we can. But you'll see that we're still pretty limited in some areas. These roots could potentially be hiding more cracks or breaks in these areas. Alright, so as we come out here now towards the front of the yard, over near the driveway, we're going to be making a drop here. And this fitting that was used to make the drop, you can make out the kind of the orangish color there that's kind of surrounding that opening of the pipe. This fitting has broken. These fittings don't have joints or seams. And then on the opposite side, basically where the camera's going to be looking straight into here, you can see another break right there. So this whole fitting is cracked and broken and probably shifted and settled. And as we make the drop, we're also making a slight turn. And as we get to the bottom of this drop, You can see this jagged edge here. Again, this is another break down at the bottom of this drop before we level off to go horizontal again, and this whole section of pipe is kind of slid down inside the actual 6-inch pipe that we're inside right here. It's a little hard to see and make out, but these should be smooth transitions. You shouldn't be seeing those jagged edges and these gaps. So we know that it's broken on either end. Some of this debris cleaned off the lens here. We'll continue out. We're basically now dropped down and we're starting to run out onto the sidewalk, parkway, and then straight out onto the street to connect up to the public sewer here under the street near the middle. Now this is the 6-inch pipe that was brought from the public sewer back up to the property when it was developed and what was connected to when the house was built. And we're seeing kind of more of the same as far as the root intrusions in this 6-inch clay pipe, but nothing of as much significance really. These are pretty common roots. A little more as we get down to this area. But for the most part, the 6-inch pipe under the street looks to be in a satisfactory condition. This is just kind of the common root intrusion situations we're seeing here. So that's at least pretty good news that portion's functioning still at this point. And then here we're going to be making a kind of a sweeping left turn to drop down into the public sewer right here at 62 feet. Alright, there's a public connection. Alright, so at this point I think what I'm going to recommend, since we have about 3 significantly cracked or broken areas, we have that fairly long section of pipe that's settled and holding water, I'm going to suggest that the line through the front yard here be replaced from the clean out to the bottom of that drop where the last break is and connect up to the 6-inch pipe. So what I'll do is I'll go track and locate that 6-inch line as it comes up onto the property and indicate that with a red marker flag, including the depth of the pipe, and we'll basically recommend from the clean out to that point. There's not really any real advantage to trying to do 3 or 4 point repairs. At that point you'd be spending as much or more as just replacing the whole thing. So that'll be the recommendation, and that's what I'm going to be discussing in my written report. So I would refer you to that written report for the description of the final findings and recommendations, including depth of the pipe and all of that. So with that, I'm going to wrap up the video portion of the examination for today. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.